Dirty Sports, episode 919. We are live on YouTube in 5, 4, 3. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co host from Los Angeles, California, Joey. No chill, pray now.
Hello, Andy.
Good opening day of the NCAA tournament.
I was like opening day.
The official start, I should say. I don't count the first four, Joe. I will never count the first four. The playing
Welcome
games.
everybody to the official start, the unofficial official start of college basketball season.
Yes.
Who's watching college basketball before this? Who are you? I'd love to know you. Love to know your thing.
But do we agree
I
or
only
disagree
have
about
I only have a couple friends who are intently watching college basketball prior to this. Our boy Damo, big St. Mary's fan. Former guest of the show, Pizza Star, big St. John's fan. These are guys born in the early 70s. Before they were born before the NBA was airing live.
Just throwing their age under the bus. Now, I don't care if you can watch whatever you want. You can like college basketball all you want. But I think we, again, have to admit this playing game stuff, I just don't count it. They have the B team announcers. They have the B team in-studio analysts.
I do like that they're now like doing 11 seeds and whatever. Like, remember when it was just for the 4th and 63rd
I think
spot in
they've
the
done
tournament?
that for a while, though, now.
Yeah, they have. But originally, it was just like the last teams in. I like now that it's like, Pitt is now an 11 seed.
Yeah. No, I feel ya. I mean, obviously, it's just an extra day of games, an extra day of money for the tournament. But I have no clue. Like, the last few years, I look at these brackets, and I'm just like, yeah, this is a cool school. I think they have a good program. Who's winning this game? I don't know. Have you looked
And that's
at the
been our
bracket?
March Madness college basketball talk, everybody. Ruther's got some NFL free agency news we can dive right into now.
Oh yeah, we got lots.
I mean, you have a Final Four picked, right?
Not really. I guess I like UCLA.
I mean, you filled out a bracket.
Yeah, I like UCLA.
I got UCLA winning it all. I believe my Final Four is UCLA, Arizona, Purdue, Houston. Does that sound like 4 different brackets?
Yeah, let's go with it.
UCLA over Purdue.
You seen that big tall guy on Purdue?
I have.
I knew nothing. I'm like, that big tall guy.
Purdue's a school that's like they've tried and tried. Like, they're always like, hey, this is our year. They never won anything.
Yeah. I know. I don't know. Like they couldn't win with Glenn Robinson. Remember when they had him? They didn't even make it to the Final Four. Big baby.
Yeah. Big dog. Big baby was the other guy from LSU.
That's right. Why do I call him Big Baby? The big dog was an animal. Remember how good he was?
He was great. He's a great player. Great NBA guy, too.
For the Bucks. He was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
You're right. Purdue, well, they had to have made a Final Four.
It's funny. Too. What is it with Glenn's? Why do Glenn's become big? Glenn, Big Dog Robinson, Glenn, Big Baby Davis. If your name's Glenn, you have to be a big something.
Gene Katie is just scowling somewhere. I know we've talked about this. That was the angriest coach ever. I don't think he ever smiled. He was known for 2 things: being pissed and having a comb over.
If you're gonna be remembered for 2 things, that's not bad too.
That's all-time comb over that he had. So you like Purdue making it to the Final Four, huh?
Do I like anything? I don't like anything. No. I just picked UCLA to win it all.
I do have some upsets I like. I like College of Charleston.
Okay.
Over San Diego State. I like a possible Furman over UVA. I believe that game is currently on.
Oh, just shots fired at Tug.
I like
how many Tug schools do you have losing in an upset?
Well, that's a good question. I like
no Michigan in the tournament. How many Tug schools are in the tournament?
Yeah, I don't know. I like Kent State to upset Indiana. I like a possible Drake over Miami. Possible Kent State in the Sweet 16. There's an Andy Ruther pick. I like VCU over your boy Damo's St. Mary's. I like a lot of upsets, actually.
I think I got our boy Damo's St. Mary's in the Elite Eight.
So you went the opposite route.
I did.
Now, are you throwing a little money on some of these games?
Sure, you know me. I've got a nice little bankroll in my gambling account. I'll throw some shit out there. I saw a fun tweet the other day, or a TikTok, I think it was the other day. Some guy was like, year in and year out, he plays all the 15, 14, 13, 12, 11 games or something like that, and he just does money line dogs on all of them. So I put I think I put $5 or $10 on like a bunch of just those. That's just money lines. Like literally didn't even look at them. Like no idea who's playing in those games.
Interesting.
I've already got a couple of I did a couple of like 2 and 3 team parlays for this opening round with some of the favorites that I like. But like to me, that's just playing. I'm basically playing roulette. I don't know shit. This is based in absolutely nothing.
How about a possible Oral Roberts upset over Duke? A little 5-12 game there. Duke's been playing better, I think. But again, that 5-12 game, there's always at least one of the 4 upsets. I feel like
doesn't Duke as a 5 seed just feel like a Elite 8 team though, that everybody's like, they shouldn't even be here. Like I love it when people take the this team a 5 seed, how dare you? And then they just like go on a run and they're like, we're Duke.
I had an Oral Roberts joke when I first started doing stand-up comedy.
I bet.
that was the level of my stand-up. A joke about that it's called Oral Roberts.
Yeah. You're like, over in the East bracket, Anal Johnson is playing North Carolina. Was that your joke?
No, but it's probably what you said's funnier than probably any crap I wrote. Anal Johnson. We have Deep Throat State playing in the South region. There's a little historical reference joke intertwined in that one, Prano. See what I did there?
Yeah, I see that. Anal Johnson, by the way, was what happened backstage at the Arsenio Hall show. Oh, shit. Deep cut.
Here's a good one from the comments. A few years back, we were a game away from Oral Roberts versus Morehead State. Speaking of Morehead, what's going on in that picture right there?
He's getting Oral Roberts. That's a guy on his back going to Morehead State.
Oh man, I like it. This is our level of NCAA tournament talk. We're just gonna make sexual jokes off of school names. That's our NCAA tournament talk for the day. I
wish my gambling account allowed me to bet on like triple covered contested 3-pointer when you only need 2 at the buzzer for the loss. Like that's what I want to bet on, because if there's something I'm prepared for, especially in the first couple rounds, it's like Drake having an opportunity, and then they just they inbound the ball to their best player. He disregards the fact that there are other guys on his team, dribbles around in circles like some sort of circus act, and then fires one off the side of the backboard, triple covered. When when down for a 3 when they're down 1.
That's why Butler was always so good.
Yeah.
Right? Because Stevens was the only coach calling plays. They'd come in as like a 9 seed and make the Final Four because they'd be in those positions. They'd hang with the higher seed, right? And Stevens would be like, okay, we're actually going to run a play here to win this game.
Yeah. Remember the play, the Gordon Hayward play that almost won the whole thing?
Against Duke in the final.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane. I did come across a thread which would be fun to discuss. I saw a thread on Twitter by Jim Weber, and I think he's a college basketball guy.
Sounds like a college basketball guy.
Yeah, he is.
Big Jim Weber.
It's a fun thread. It's a thread on.
You're going over to the Weber say, oh, yeah, Jim's so excited. He's got 4 TVs going. He's going to watch a lot of college ball. He's got some Oral Johnson sausages ready for the grill.
So he did a great little thread here on. No, that's not what we want. We don't want the bracket.
That's your bracket.
We don't really care about the bracket. We don't want that. What I want is the thread that he did on the where are they now, which is a great little thread.
By the way, I love that. I love that ad at the bottom for Coke. Was that Coke One?
Is that what it was?
Best Coke ever. I'm gonna go with Colombian, but thanks for throwing your hat in the ring. Coke One.
So this is a great thread. NCAA tournament Cinderellas. Where are they now?
Weirdly, the first one, Kevin Pittsnoggle from West Virginia, he's now a high school assistant principal, and he looks like he's about 50 now. Even though, am I wrong? Did Kevin Pittsnoggle play like 4 years ago?
But he's probably around like my age, your age. I think he was around the early, like, I don't know, early 2000s.
Why does it? That seems like
he's 38.
Okay.
I remember Kevin Pittsnoggle. I think this was maybe, I don't know if this was Bob Huggins was at West Virginia yet, but I love that he's a assistant principal. He's got some Kenny Powers vibes going there.
Yeah, I mean, he has Kenny Powers vibes because he hasn't let go of his basketball days. He's like, everybody knew me for the goatee. I have to keep rocking the goatee.
Yeah, so we start with Kevin Pittsnoggle. Great name, by the way.
Yeah.
Pittsnoggle. That's the most West Virginia name ever.
Yeah.
If you play for West Virginia, no better name than Pittsnoggle. So scrolling down, God Shamgod.
God Shamgod is an absolute legend. Like, God Shamgod has a move named after him. The Shamgod is a dribble move. Like, he is by far the most influential player on this list, and I haven't even seen the rest of the list. But I'm going to just say, look at him. He's still a Dallas Mavericks player development coach. He's still involved in the game at a very high level.
He's a New York guy, right?
Yeah. Also, imagine having 2 gods in your name.
Oh,
God, Shamgod. Just bookending it with God.
I would argue that might be the
Jameis
best.
1 of 1 is jacking off to his name. He's like, so much God.
No, he's not. He would call that some sort of blasphemy.
Yeah.
Arguably the best name in NCAA tournament history, God Shamgod.
Got to be up there.
I don't know who's better. I mean, Pittsnoggle's good. No God Shamgod.
Yeah. No.
Okay, moving right along. I forgot this guy. Ali.
Not going to work here anymore, that's for sure.
I'm not even attempting his name.
Oh, I remember him. He was from what school was he at?
Looks like North Dakota State. Was he the Jackrabbits?
Yeah. Ali Faroukmanesh.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pronunciation.
He's a Colorado State assistant coach now. Okay. I remember him.
I do. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he might have been one of the day one Rebel. The one we did
exactly,
the one we did at
sure.
Laz's house.
Absolutely.
From start to finish. Remember when they had an upset?
Yeah. Yep.
I believe he was on that. Remember those days?
Yep.
We'd call the games from start to finish, taking naps in between.
Yeah.
That was fun. We used to do that. All right, now this guy I remember. This wasn't too long ago. Sherwood Brown, Florida Gulf Coast University.
That
Currently,
they were like Dunk City or whatever,
they
right?
were Dunk City. I believe they made it to the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight as like a 14 or 15 seed. But he wasn't that big, and you can tell. But this dude had hops, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. And
He's
now
part of,
playing in Portugal,
yeah, he's in Portugal.
where apparently the sun is not as strong because he's gone down he's like 8 shades lighter skin now.
Then we
He
have,
was in Florida before, man.
oh yeah,
My boy, Bo Kimball, famously shooting left-handed in honor of Hank Gathers. Famous Knicks bench guy for a long time. I believe drafted by the Clippers originally.
yeah,
Ended up on the Knicks.
good reference.
He would get the Rudy treatment in any sort of blowout game wherever he played in the NBA. It would be like, let's go Kimball or whatever. And then you get Bo Kimball in the game and he'd shoot some lefty free throws and everybody would lose their mind. Business consultant living outside Philadelphia.
Questionable choice there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Luke Hancock, nothing major. I do remember UCL or Louisville made a run then. He is currently an ACC.
I love that Louisville was a Cinderella. Why was that a Cinderella team?
They're maybe an 8 or 9 seed, but come on. Bryce Drew has not aged too much.
No.
The famous shot, the buzzer beater for Valpo. He's the Grand Canyon head coach.
And his dad was the coach of that team, wasn't it? Wasn't he?
I think.
Yeah. Or something like that.
Who was that shot against? Let's see if you can remember this.
Oof.
Let's see if you can remember who was Bryce Drew's shot against. I think I know, but I'm going to look it up.
Indiana.
Ole Miss.
Okay.
Guess the year. Let's see if you can come within 2 years.
2002.
1998. The 25th anniversary of the Bryce Drew shot just happened. So that's your feed. That's kind of
and
a fun
that is Zach Galifianakis.
He was a starter for Mississippi Valley State back in the day.
He was a starter for University of Nevada, Reno. He's a one-man wolf pack.
He is. Rewatched that movie by the
Hangover.
I watched it with Isla. She was fussy, and I was like, you know what? Let's watch some movies together, girl.
Let's see some small Asian dick.
Oh, Joe, how the times have changed. What they could do in 2009 versus 2023.
They're like paging Dr. Dork.
Yeah. I mean, that I remember seeing that in the theater. I saw that in Marina Del Rey with my friend Sarah. I remember I used to work with her. We saw that in the theater together. It's funny where that franchise and where a lot of those people went. Obviously, Bradley Cooper became a mega star, but
yeah,
I don't think I watched all 3 of those Hangovers.
Really?
I think I watched maybe the first 2.
The second one's the one that happens in Bangkok.
Yeah, Thailand.
And the third one, I forget. I want to say like Mexico or something. I
don't know if I've watched that.
I've seen them all. I've seen them all for sure.
Do you remember when Dennis Gubbins tried to sell me Zach Galifianakis' couch?
No.
Do you know about this?
No.
So he's friends with him, right? And
yeah,
the couch at his place in Venice, Galifianakis used to own. So his pitch, before I upgraded from the old green couch in the Smut Studio and I wanted something else, I was like telling Gubbins, I got to get a new couch. And he's like, dude, you want Galifianakis' couch? He's the guy who owns Zach Galifianakis' couch. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like,
it's now on its third guy.
Yeah, it's on its third guy. I know what I've done to couches. I've never met Zach Galifianakis, but I've seen his movies. I see the type of person he is. Like, I'm gross, but like he's more gross than me.
And then Dennis in between, grosser than both you guys.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I'll pass. But like that was his pitch.
Yeah.
Hey, Galifianakis used to jack off on this couch.
And then knock off Galifianakis used to jack off on the couch too. It's the knockoff jack off.
I wonder if you could get money for that though. Like if that was the pitch, you try to sell it on eBay, try to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, which is a whole thing, by the way. Do you know about this?
Oh, I'm well aware. Yeah.
Are you well aware of Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah.
It's a whole thing, dude. My neighbor next to my parents' house was dismantling the fence. There was a fence separating the 2 yards. There's a big fence, right? He put it on Facebook Marketplace. Within like the next day, somebody came out. You know, it would cost a lot of money to have the whole thing dismantled. Somebody came out for free because of Facebook Marketplace to dismantle. The wood was still pretty good, and then take the entire fence like in a big truck.
Yeah. It's a Lachlan Patterson move there, collecting some wood.
Is that a move?
Yeah, you never know when you're going to need some wood. Lachlan used to walk around Venice with his dogs, go for the morning walk, and he'd see wood, and he'd be like, I got to go back and get that later. I'm like, what are you going to do with all this wood, bro?
That's hilarious. That's like its own show.
Oh, yeah.
Where would he put the wood?
He just kept it in his kept it in like the side portion of his house, in the alley, all kinds of places. He had wood stashed everywhere. I said at one point that his next album, he had an album called Jokes to Make Love To. And I was like, your next album should be called Jokes to Chop Wood To.
That's a great title. I'm going to see Eddie If this weekend.
I know. That's so exciting. Eddie just had a birthday, by the way.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, just a couple days ago.
How old is he? How old do we know?
I think he just turned like 51 or 52.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's 50?
I think he's 51.
I'm going to ask him.
I think he's 51. I think he was born in 1972.
No, he was not.
I mean, he's on Google. He's Googleable. He's semi-famous.
I know, but I just feel like he's probably lying about his age. No offense. I think these guys...
but I'm telling you, I think if you put in Google, it'll say 47. I think that's him lying about his age. But I think if you dig, you can find out. I think if you go on his Wikipedia.
So I put in Eddie If age. It says about 49 in Google. And then when you click on Wikipedia, March 14th, 1971.
See? 52.
He's got the same birthday as Britney.
Your baby mama's 52? That's impressive work. Geriatric birth you had right there. No wonder Isla was like, get me out of here before it's too late.
I feel 52 after 2 weeks of that hell child. I love her, but Jesus, chill out. Just saying. Kids. You know what I'm saying, Joe? Kids.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know.
I don't know. All I know is the secret is a little rum on your finger. Put it on their gums.
Did your parents do that to you?
I don't know. Probably.
Have you heard that?
I do love rum.
Is that like a thing?
Yeah. A little booze. A little alcohol in the bottle. People say, oh, and the kids can grow up an alcoholic. It's like, nah, that's all. That all runs in the family anyway.
Yeah.
No, a little whiskey as a child's not going to do it. Not going to suddenly make you have a family history of alcoholism. It's going to put you to bed. That's what I used to go to bed.
What about an edible? Is that safe for a kid?
Probably not.
No. Imagine the tolerance if 5 milligrams does that much damage to me.
Yeah.
Imagine what that would do to a baby. Although I'm kind of like
an actual lightweight.
Yeah. You want to talk a little NFL?
Dear Child Protective Services, on the March 16th episode of the Dirty Sports Podcast, Andy talked about giving his child edibles.
Bro, her diaper blowouts, man. That's the crazy part about like people know having a kid. You'll see the smallest 8-pound, 13-ounce baby, whatever she is right now, and you're like, how did this physically come out of you? Like you're just drinking formula or breast milk. It's the equivalent of a night of like Taco Bell, but out of a small child. But the same size
I mean,
almost.
it's literally an all dairy diet.
Yeah. Did you see Taco Bell's getting rid of the churrito?
Dude, I haven't been to Taco Bell since I got rid of the double decker. So what
I
are we
thought of
talking about
you.
here?
I thought of you. I tweeted it. I saw it because the churrito, that was an early Joe Prano, Andy Ruther, like fun joke where we'd go like 2014, 2015, and you'd be like, oh, fucking Ruther. Only you'd be the only one getting a churrito.
I still don't. What's a churrito?
No. Is that what it's called?
Quesarito?
Quesarito.
I still don't know what it is. It's
That's
a burrito. It's a quesadilla burrito.
Yeah, quesarito. I'm mixing up my organizations. Gold Star has the churrito, I think, or the gorrito. I don't remember.
I had the same Taco Bell order for like 20 years until the Doritos Locos tacos came around, and then I started mixing some of those in. But I was basically an exclusively double-decker taco. I'd go like 3 double-decker tacos, 2 steak soft tacos. That was like my order.
Yeah.
And then it became a couple it would be like a 2-2-2, like a double-decker taco, 2 steak soft tacos, and 1 Cool Ranch and 1 Nachos Doritos Locos. I never fucked with any of that stuff, like any of the weird shit besides. I mean, the double deckers as wild as I got.
Well, I don't know why they got rid of the double decker. The double decker was go-to for mine in college.
Well, it makes no sense. It's the best. It's literally the best of both worlds. It's a hard taco with a soft taco wrapped around it with beans holding them together.
I mean, it's genius.
It's genius.
Yeah, so they're getting rid.
It's like having a deep dish pizza with a regular pizza inside it. Like,
yeah.
Like now I don't have to decide.
Sure. So they're getting rid of the quesarito in like a month. I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to go for old time's sake. Like, I'm going to get a quesarito. I'm telling you, that was a thing where we would go to the one on Venice Boulevard and just make awful, like, insane order, reckless decisions. That was an early, like, you're like, what the fuck is a quesarito? And I'm like, no, man, you got to try it. It's a quesadilla and it's a burrito, and they combine the two.
Sad times for the quesarito lovers out there.
Yeah, you know what are you gonna do though? What are you gonna do? We'll talk a little NFL.
Andy, I just got a breaking news update.
What?
I don't know if you saw this. Did you see the Edwin Diaz news from last night?
I did.
Breaking news. Yeah, it sounds like Edwin Diaz injury update. Mets closer likely out for the whole season after hurting knee during celebration. Suffered a patellar tendon injury in his right kney, celebrating the win.
That's just, you hate to see it.
Signed a 5-year, $102 million contract offseason. Obviously, we all know the narco trumpet entrance. Probably the most dominant closer in baseball last year. I mean, a key player to the back end of the Mets. I said it yesterday, and I'm doubling down on it. I blame Jets fans. There's been a link between the Jets and the Mets for far too long. Shea Stadium is long demolished. The Jets haven't played there since the fucking 70s. The Mets haven't played there since they demolished it, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
The Jets and Mets, we need to be separated because here's the thing. The Jets are a cursed fucking franchise, as we talked about. And I feel like the excitement and the happiness from Jets fans after Rodgers announced on the Pat McAfee show that essentially he's trying to get to the Jets, their curse had to be counterbalanced by taking something away from them. And it came in the form of our closer's patellar tendon. Real Mets fans or Giants fans from now on. Like, I'm sick of this. It's far too long that it's been a Mets-Jets combo. Who wants to be tied to that cursed franchise? I'm so upset right now, Andy. Done for the season. There goes the closer.
Well, I was wrong about something regarding the World Baseball Classic. I was like, who cares about this stuff?
A lot
Apparently, people outside the United States. So somebody tweeted, more human beings watched, I assume the world with this tweet, more human beings watched Japan Korea than any single game of the World Series. I assume it's this most recent World Series by a lot. You don't get to call the World Baseball Classic a, in quotes, made up exhibition just because you don't like it. I'd like to see the actual numbers on that. I'm not saying that I don't agree that it's fake, but it is fascinating to see that.
I'm a fan of the World Baseball Classic. I know there's a lot of angry Mets fans today who are upset, who don't think these guys should play. And it's like he wasn't in a dog pile. This is not an injury that came from like some sort of excessive celebration. They were carrying him off the field or something. If you look at the video, which they don't have a great angle of, but if you like, he's barely even celebrating. They're literally hopping around. It's a freak accident. I know guys get hurt in these things, but guys get hurt in spring training. You know, Gavin Lux is out for the year in spring training. It is what it is. I think it's good for baseball. I think the World Baseball Classic is good for baseball because of all the things you just said. And what I think Major League Baseball should do is look to things like the World Baseball Classic for how to make baseball better. If you have more people watching the Japan game, obviously, especially in a tournament that has no pitch clock, none of the dumb shit that you've instituted. Baseball is fine. You just don't know how to fucking market it and where you are. So, you know, you can learn something from this. Devastating injury, though. Really, really sad. It's a sad trombone way to enter Major League Baseball season for Mets fans, but here we are.
Yeah, that does suck. I mean, you got to do next man up as much as it sucks.
Yeah.
Right? Like, do you have a closer now?
Well, I mean, I guess they'll figure probably David Robertson. I don't know who the thing will be, but.
Well, here's another update as well. YouTube TV is raising their cost. I wonder if that has anything to do with the NFL Sunday ticket. Because I feel like that would be an additional buy. From $64.99 to $72.99. Wonder if those are related. Oh, inflation. The dad in me hates to see that. Now that I've gone full dad mode on pricing.
Inflation?
All this, the prices. You keep cutting in and out, and you're like,
you keep cutting in and out on me too.
Really?
I get a spinning wheel in your face. A black.
See, I just lost you again. This is crazy. Your eyes are closed. I don't know what's happening here today. It's like the Jets Mets curse is now rearing its head on our show. Do this. Maybe you can hear me. I can hear you. He's left. He's left the building. He's completely gone. I don't know where he went.
I just went to check to see if there was like a million things streaming or something, and no.
Okay, well you're good now.
Just standard.
Yeah, same for me. I don't have anything streaming. Well, you're back now. That's all that matters. You want to talk a little NFL free agency?
Sure.
Obviously, the Jets are gonna get Aaron Rodgers. It looks like. I mean, until it happens, I'm still like, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, he pretty much said. I mean, first of all, we love Pat McAfee. We're Pat McAfee stands over here. Great guy, former guest of the show. But I have to be critical of our boy Pat McAfee. He kind of lets Aaron Rodgers come on and do like When you talk about softball, like there's never any gloves on. It's like Aaron Rodgers came on and complained about a lack of communication by the Packers for 20 consecutive minutes before finally saying he wants to play for the Jets. Like this guy, he's like, no, I just think, you know, when you're trying to join an organization, you're looking for straightforward communication. And then you're like, where are you going to play next year, bro? And he's like, and it's just the darkness and the meditation. Aaron, where are you playing next year? And, just the way they were treating me. And it was pretty obvious that you're like, where do you want to play football, bro? Like, Pat, can you just say, where are you playing football next year?
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I did not watch any of the show. I watched the quick Twitter highlights of it. It'll be interesting how it plays out. I think they make the playoffs. I'm going to go ahead and say that. Their Super Bowl odds have greatly increased. We have some calls which I'd like to play from our Jets fans. A couple Jets fans calling in.
Fuck Jets fans.
Wow. Anyway,
stop poisoning my teams with your cursed franchise.
I'll play the calls. We'll start off with another Jets curse, which I didn't know that there was actually a Joe Namath curse. I didn't know the background on this. This is kind of interesting.
Joe, hey Andy. Aaron Rodgers wants to be a Jet. A sentence I never thought I would say in my lifetime. You guys talked about the Jets and how they were cursed last episode, but there is actually a name for the curse. It's the Joe Namath Curse. Story goes that in order to win Super Bowl III against the heavily favored Colts, he sold his soul to the devil. And that is why, after that Super Bowl, the Jets have been a debacle and his career was a debacle. So I'm not sure how getting Aaron Rodgers is going to factor into the curse, because legend has it the only way for it to be lifted is for him to die. So I hope the Aaron Rodgers discount double check magic can somehow break it before then. But until then, I got to hope that the Jets don't somehow turn this situation upside down into another debacle. Yeah, let's go Jets.
Now, it's a sad fact, because if you're a Jets fan and you believe in that curse, you're literally sitting here hoping the only guy who's ever won a Super Bowl for you dies.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing.
I believe it, though. I went to Joe Namath football camp as a kid. And Joe Namath would come out and he would talk to everybody. And I remember me and my brother sitting in the front row, Joe Namath football camp, while Joe Namath was giving a speech. His knees looked like a war zone. His knees looked like a bunker in the Ukraine. Like they were just blown apart. It was scar tissue. It looked like, oh my God, it just shredded. You were just like, God, how many knee injuries have you had? How many knee surgeries you had? It was like Edward Scissorhands' face, just like scars everywhere. And now Edwin Diaz has to have knee surgery. I'm not saying I want Joe Namath to die, but I'm not saying that.
He's 79.
Slightly older than Eddie Eft. Just edging out Eddie Eft.
You think Namath's still banging?
I mean, if he was banging on the regular, would he be trying to drunk kiss Susie Colbert?
I'm just saying, Namath
that was 20 years ago now, by the way. Like, how long ago was that?
It was more than that.
They tried to kiss Susie Colbert?
It was more than 20 years ago. Definitely more. It's definitely more than that. No, I stand corrected. It was 20 years ago.
Nailed it.
You did nail it. It was December 20th, 2003.
There you go.
I'm just saying, man, he was a sex symbol. We all know the whole story on him. Like, chicks love Joe Namath. I just wonder if he's still smashing at 79.
You win in New York, chicks love you. I have a feeling there's a couple girls who flicked their bean at the Eli Manning tweet today. Did you see the Eli Manning tweet?
No.
Oh, it's glorious. What a guy.
It's
basically the equivalent of the Joe Namath in the pantyhose. I mean, Eli Manning.
Oh, spring break?
Spread eagle on spring break.
That's funny. Where's he? I wonder where he's at, jumping in the lake there, or jumping whatever he's jumping in. You said flick their bean. That's a great term.
It's probably on Manning Island. I assume the Mannings own their own island at this point.
They should if they don't.
Yeah. Omaha Island.
Definitely not in or near anywhere in Nebraska.
No. I feel like the Omaha thing that the family does is literally just to mock Nebraska. We should make this call someplace we would never go.
I wonder what the history behind Omaha is, like why he chose Omaha.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Omaha?
I have.
Yeah, I've been there too. That's another team.
I'm all set on that.
Another Cinderella team from Omaha. Creighton, I think, could do some damage real quick.
Okay.
They're 6th seed. I could see them making some moves. Aronofsky called as well. Hall of Fame dirtball. He obviously has a bet with you over a Jets quarterback winning 10 games. He doesn't seem to be buying in just yet because he knows.
What's going on, folks? Calling back once again from beautiful Toms River, New Jersey, home of the 1998 Little League World Series champions. Rodgers just got done off the McAfee show, mentioned the Jets and all. See everyone getting very excited. And I think I might be one of the smarter Jets fans who's not getting their hopes up just yet. Because, I mean, this guy is a freak. This guy is a maniac. And I could really just see it now, something happening in like August and him deciding to retire and leaving us hanging out to dry with Zach Wilson for another year. And I mentioned Favre, obviously, it's kind of a replica of that 2008 season. Just a reminder, we went 8-3 that year to start, and we finished 9-7 and missed the playoffs. And then the next year, Sanchez came in, and we had two fun years under Rex and lost in the AFC Championship game. That was the last time we had a playoff win. So hopefully I can win the bet this year, but honestly, there's no big party going on over here in Toms River, New Jersey, home of the 1998 Little League World Series champions. We're laying low. If he's on the field week 1, maybe we'll start to get a little optimistic and hope for those 10 quarterback wins on the season and the playoff berth for the first time since 2010. So that's about it. Stay dirty. And condoms are for Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, all these fucking virgin dorks. Kill yourselves.
Coming in hot at the end.
I gotta agree with Kyle in summer. I mean, until Aaron Rodgers is on the field,
I agree.
There's so much. I mean, I think it's safe to say he doesn't return to the Packers at this point. But Aaron Rodgers retiring, Aaron Rodgers somehow ending up on another team, Aaron Rodgers ending up on the Jets, getting to New York, realizing the team's owned by Johnson & Johnson, freaking out, then retiring. So many things can happen.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's pretty funny that they're owned by the team.
Literally, they are the definition of Big Pharma. If Big Pharma was like going to have a club,
he has to address that.
The Johnson family would be the president of the Big Pharma Club.
Like, you have to address that. It's pretty funny. Like, that would be a question for Pat McAfee to ask him.
Oh, Pat, and that's the thing. I love Pat, and I love that Rodgers feels like it's a safe space there to come on and say what he wants to say in long form interviews every week, because you really don't get that kind of access. But the reason he does is because Pat McAfee asks him nothing.
But I know, but even in a joking manner and say, Aaron, like, you can choose what you want, This is how I would. Like if it was me, if we had Aaron Rodgers, I'd say, look, man, I don't care what you do. I don't give a shit if you're vaccinated. But you have to see the irony is that you're playing for a team that literally is big pharma.
Yeah, and not only forget his vaccine status. Part of the follow-up to all that was him just being like, oh, suddenly we trust big pharma. Like he has said big pharma.
Yeah.
He's literally playing for he's trying to maneuver his way to the big pharma jets.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's hilarious.
It is. It's funny. 100%.
But now, so many things can happen here.
So many things.
And also, I'll say this too: the cursed franchise. I think Aaron Rodgers makes them a Super Bowl contender.
I agree.
But if they went 9-8, I would not be shocked at all.
Yeah,
because it's still the fucking Jets.
Still the Jets.
I mean, he missed the playoffs with the Packers last year. The Packers.
I agree. I think they're definitely a Super Bowl contender if he plays. I mean, look, for as down of a year as he had, everyone's like, such a bad year. You threw 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, his first double-digit interception, I believe, since like 2010, which that's not like him turning the ball over. But again, my point is, how many teams would take a 26-12? A lot of teams would take that from their quarterback. That's a terrible year for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And I'll say this about Aaron Rodgers too, is like probably the most talented quarterback we've seen in the history of the game besides Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
I have lots of respect for Aaron Rodgers' game. Aaron Rodgers as a person in the last few years has certainly spun off into a whole new territory. But look at how upset he's gotten over the past couple of years about the vaccine thing, about the questions that were asked him, about the way his answers were treated, about even as recent as yesterday, about Adam Schefter, about the people that are reaching out to him. Like the idea of Aaron Rodgers versus the New York press, like if that was a boxing match, I have the New York press in a 4th round knockout. Like Aaron Rodgers has not shown me that he is mentally prepared for what's going to happen in New York.
I think he'll be fine. I know what you're saying.
He'll be fine. I don't think he's going to end up on top of the Empire State Building with a rifle. I'm just saying that the idea of that having an effect on his game, because it's the one thing's clear to me. The talk and the press surrounding Aaron Rodgers the last few years has gotten to him. No doubt about that.
I mean, look, they have a team, like an all-around team. Then you add a quarterback. Obviously, they completely stumbled down the stretch, but how many of those games are they lose? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many of those, like, 16-13 games did they lose last year, or close games where you're like, dude, all you need is a decent, not even an Aaron Rodgers, all you need is a decent quarterback who can get something done. I think it'll be fun to watch how everything unfolds. I think he'll play for them. The curse is real, though. The curse is a legitimate thing. I believe in that stuff. I mean, we see it with other franchises, right? Franchises like the Lions who are posting the weirdest things ever about Dan Campbell. I can't stop laughing. The Lions framed and signed notes they made outlining Dan Campbell. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, because
it's like when you go to a restaurant that has paper placemats and they give your kids crayons and you leave and you're like, this is the most amazing thing we've ever seen. We're taking it home and framing it.
That's what the Lions did. It says one.
And I love how this tweet, I mean, obviously they're a Lions fan account, Pride of Detroit, but it starts with pretty neat. Yeah, it's pretty neat. All right. Neato.
Yeah. Pretty neat. The Lions framed and signed the notes they made outlining their head coach and GM search. These were the notes from the Lions franchise. Number 1, leadership. Number 2, culture, which is misspelled. Number 3, staff. Stay focused on this was for culture. Staff.
A lot of arrows.
Staff, find the best.
And they all signed it like it's a Declaration of Independence.
To not make the playoffs.
Dude, this is good. Leadership, culture, staff. We should sign this. This could be a game changer right here. Next offseason, Jamal Williams leaves.
This is their culture. That's the irony. It's like a thing within a thing. Like, your culture is this. Your culture is this. I know Lions fans are going to get annoyed. I don't care. You guys are pretty funny though. Guys,
sign this. What is it? It's an outlook. It's a strategy for us as Detroit Lions. Here's what I've come up with. Okay, are you guys ready? Buckle up. Step 1, score points. Hold on. Step 2, do not give up a lot of points. Okay? Step 3, stay healthy. Boom. Is there a mic I can drop? Guys, score points, give up no points, stay healthy. Why has no team thought about this before? It's not an intricate plan. It's just 3 steps, but I think it's pretty good, guys. Hear me? Poke holes in this if you can. Score a bunch. Don't give up any. Stay healthy. Guys, sign this. Show me that you're on board, because and also don't talk about this, because if other teams find out about it, they're going to copy our game plan.
It's like when you do a brainstorming sesh and it's people just justifying their salary in corporate America. Yeah. They're like, hey, let's all get together. Let's do a little brainstorming sesh. That's what this is. Although, let's just say it. If Aaron Rodgers does go to the Jets and it happens, he's obviously done from Green Bay. Who's the favorite in the NFC North? Who's the favorite? Now, the Bears obviously are making a lot of moves.
Yeah.
And they're trading up, or they're getting rid of their pick to get more young, fresh bodies in there. The Bears are making moves. We know what the Vikings are. They're kind of status quo. The Lions did go 9-8. They finished real strong. Who wins that division?
The Packers?
With Jordan Love?
Am I crazy to still have confidence in the Packers when when it's Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, the leadership Lions, and the Bears? I know that wouldn't honestly be my pick, but I'd probably bet on. I'd probably bet on it, because I bet you their odds will just like explode. They'll be like, oh, everybody's gonna have the Packers to finish last.
Well, obviously the Packers, they wanted to move on. Aaron Rodgers said that himself. They wanted to look. Jordan Love's been sitting here.
It's weird that they did that deal, though, right?
It is weird.
And now that they're obviously hampered by that deal and trying to get rid of him.
Yeah, it is weird. I will get a lot of enjoyment if the Lions don't make the playoffs again. I'm going to be upfront with that. It'll make me laugh.
I love that the Lions have framed something like this is like the Taco Bell executive is framing something that says, discontinue the double decker. 2, discontinue the quesarito. 3, no more like mini churros. This is what the Lions have framed him on their wall.
It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. But like you said, what's great is
Dan Campbell came in and they were like, what do you think? He's like, yeah, leadership's important. No, I'm on board with this.
The first reply to that was, I'd buy a copy of this. Would love it for my office. Somebody's being dead serious. That's the first response to the tweet.
I'd love a copy. Well, so draw one, bro. It's not the fucking blueprints for the fucking Millennium Falcon.
And then the blueprints for the Millennium Falcon. And then you know what else I love? I love that I love that people are getting annoyed how everyone is calling out that culture is misspelled. Someone tweeted, every time I see someone point out that the culture is misspelled, I think that's exactly what the former leadership team would have focused on. Like,
what?
They're saying that's, leadership was the top thing, but they're getting mad about what people are focused on. I'm telling you, Lions fans are still the craziest. They're still the craziest in the NFL as far as like out of touch. Did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay. I lost you for a split second.
Yeah.
But I love dirtballs getting angry with me. I don't know. For some reason, people are like, fucking Ruther. Here Ruther goes again. Ruther just fucking coming for the line. Because you guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like your expectations are like, I'm going to a restaurant. I hope to get food. Like that's the Lions fans' expectations. That's why I find it so hysterical.
Yeah. No, I just like that they're sitting down and they're doing this, like, guys, get in here. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, all high-ranking executives to the front office, all high-ranking executives to the front office. And then everybody shows up. They're like, what's up? He's like, I got it, guys. I wrote in crayon on the wall of my office, win Super Bowl. Huh? The fuck are we talking about here?
It's like Charlie Day from Always Sunny, which they made a famous gif of. It's when he constructs this wild thing. And Charlie Day,
but on the board it just.
Damn, we are struggling today, man. We lost Joe again. Are you losing me?
I'm losing everything. I just get spinning wheel. I just get black screen spinning.
Damn. Because I don't know. I'm good over here.
I don't know how much more I can pay for my fucking internet. I just keep I have such fucking high internet speed. I don't know if it's me. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know either. Somebody commented, Joey no show.
I went through this with Dirtball. I was like, I don't. What the hell is it? I do my speed test. It says I've got thousands of megabytes.
We were good for a while. We haven't had hiccups lately.
I might just have to start doing like a literal hard reset every time we're about to go live. The last thing I should do is the last 5 minutes before we go live, I've got to reset my fucking Wi-Fi.
Yeah, no, we don't have to do that. Big signing by the Bengals, though, yesterday, huh?
Getting some offensive line help.
What struck me is that he is guaranteed the most money of any offensive lineman ever, which, like, you don't normally see that with them. So, yeah. Orlando Brown, I mean, look, on paper, it's a huge help. I do find it funny that I noticed
well, to be fair, your GM did do some pancake art in the offseason that said protect Burrow. So he was like, I got it. He woke up in a cold sweat. And he was like, guys, wake up. I just had a dream that we should protect Joe Burrow. And they were like, that's brilliant. Everybody to the office.
Now, here's the thing.
We got to all sign it.
If Orlando Brown gets injured, we all know the Bengals are not going to want to pay workers' comp for him.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So this story came out in the last few days. Bengals aim to alter workers' comp laws in Ohio, the NFLPA says. This is one of the craziest, most...
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
This is like the most...
poor people shit.
This is the most NFL owner story ever. Like, NFL owners are just awful. They really are, man. And this story really takes the cake. According to the National Football League Association, the Bengals are trying to literally change the law in the state of Ohio. The NFLPA told players the Bengals are seeking to introduce legislation that would limit professional athletes who have been under contract for 5 or more years from obtaining permanent partial disability compensation. The union believes the new legislation will require those athletes to pay for their own medical care at billed amounts instead of at the reduced rates under the Ohio workers' compensation laws. No comment when asked. So the Bengals haven't even commented back.
The Bengals,
it's unbelievable,
are amazing because if you look at the numbers that this is, like how many people have made this claim against the Bengals and how much, like it's pennies, dude. It's $3,000 here and $3,000 there. They're going to pay more to their PR team to spin that they're not fucking assholes than they would be paying in these insurance claims.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Data from the NFLPA shows 18 workers associated with the Bengals are seeking workers' compensation in 2023, up from 9 in 2021. And this is what you mentioned. Compensation benefits for professional athletes range from $3,000 to $5,000, according to data from the NFLPA, and are typically filed after a playing career is over. So $3,000 to $5,000, like per player.
Let's go $5,000 max for all of them. For 18 players, that's $90,000, dude. That's $90,000.
You look like such a piece of shit when you do this. It's not look.
They're going to spend more than $90,000 replanting the grass where Bengal Jim had his fucking tailgate party.
Yeah.
$90,000?
And it goes to what we always talk about, taking care of these guys, Joe, when they retire. We've sat next to these athletes. We've seen their knees. You just talked about Joe Namath's knees. It's not a big ask to have.
It's I'm telling you, it's the most poor people shit. It, like, forget the actual thing. If you walk up to most NFL, the owners of most franchises, and you say to them, "Hey, listen, I can't tell you anything about what's about to come out, but there's a story that's about to break that's going to make you look like a gigantic asshole." And owners be like, "Wait, what?" But here's the deal: for $90,000 right now, if you write me a check for $90,000, that story will not come out. Mark Cuban's like, "Here's $9 million. Make sure they never come out."
Yeah.
For $90,000, you just, okay. Here's my checkbook. Who do I make it out to? The Bengals are having stories come out at the possibility of spending $90,000 for players who, probably got fucking seriously injured while working for their shit franchise.
And my thing always is to every cheddar dick who comes out and is like, "Oh, millionaires." I hate the millionaires complaining. Guys, it's their livelihood. It's no different than you getting injured at a construction site. You should be compensated if you were injured at a construction site. What is the difference? The comparison of they make millions of dollars, that has no bearing on the situation. If I shred my knee and I've played for a team for 5 years, I should be compensated.
Also, there's 52 guys on an NFL football team. 52. Okay. If you go to the biggest fucking fanboy of any fucking franchise, they can't name 30 players. They can't.
Yeah.
So there's at least a third of every team whose name you don't know, who will never be a millionaire from playing football. The idea that these shithead fans think every single person who ever sets foot in in the NFL as a millionaire is so fucking ludicrously dumb.
Well, and also to say they make millions, I don't care. They knew what they were doing. Well, you knew what you were doing when you walked on a construction site. You knew what you were doing. Hey, man, sorry that somebody dropped some heavy piece of wood that fell in an accident and it shattered your foot. You knew what you were doing, man. You're building a house. You knew what you were doing. You shouldn't be compensated. Sorry. You knew what you were doing. You took the risk. Sorry. It's just, I never understood anyone and any fanboy ever giving excuses for billionaire owners. Billionaire. Just take care of these guys after they're done. That's not that much to ask for.
Because you're going to go out and you're going to give this new offensive lineman for the Bengals all this money. And a huge part of NFL free agency is being someplace people want to play.
Sure.
And when you have a quarterback like Joe Burrow and you go to the Super Bowl, it's like you're drawing people in with the potential of winning. But you might also be scaring them off with the potential of, we don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah. 100%. It's terrible optics. Now, the NFL, again, has a great PR machine. This really wasn't a story. This was a little thing on ESPN, a little thing on Twitter. It was a little thing. But, like, it should be a bigger thing. Wait, you're trying to, think about that. That's some Succession shit. You're trying to change a state's law. This isn't you just being cheap. You're trying to rewrite an entire state that has 20 million people or whatever it is. You're trying to change the entire law because you want to be skimping on paying a guy who broke his ankle. It's absolutely embarrassing, but not as embarrassing as Jameis Winston. Not as embarrassing as him.
Why? What did Jameis Winston do now?
Do you see the latest? What he said today?
No.
Dude, just take your L. Headline reads, Jameis Winston says he views himself as a championship starting QB, but he stayed with the Saints to back up Derek Carr because he loves New Orleans. Not because nobody wanted him as a starter. He goes on some long rant how he loves the city and the fans are the best and blah, blah, blah. And it's almost like Jameis 1 of 1 wrote this for him.
Is there a lot of references to God?
There's not.
Okay. So we know Jameis 1 of 1 didn't write it because that fucking Jesus freak loser dork never stops talking about Christ.
Basically, Jameis is acting like he can win a title and he's a championship quarterback.
Cool. Good story. Anyway, how's Andy Dalton doing? Where's Nathan Peterman these days? I don't talk about backup quarterbacks. Get fucked. You're a bust. And I say it to Jameis 1 of 1 all the time. You're a rapist bust. I don't care.
Yeah.
Cool story, rapist bust. Oh, I just love the city in New Orleans. Real loose with their sexual assault laws. Girls take their boobies out for beads. So I don't have to pull their shirts down when I get in an Uber.
You blocked him, I saw.
Yeah, I've had enough of the Christ stuff. I'm so sick of fucking.
I was enjoying the back and forth on the DMs, watching you guys.
He's a rape defender talking about Jesus Christ.
I know. Rape defender talking about Jesus. He doesn't even see
Christ
it.
All that. Call the rape victim a liar. Call the rape victim a liar, and all he does is talk about Jesus Christ. I don't believe in any of that shit, but if I did believe in it, I'd say you're going to hell for calling a rape victim a liar.
Yeah. No, I know, man.
And also imagine even talking about your entire livelihood, your whole life, every single day of your life is about gluttony. Every single day of your life, you defend a rapist in hopes of making money on your card collection. Imagine even pretending to be religious.
Yeah, he's a sick individual. Just completely sick. There's no other way around that. You see the NFL's doing a Black Friday game now?
I did not see that.
So they're going to do a free game for Prime. People who don't have Prime would obviously be free. They're going to do it the day after Thanksgiving, which is traditionally some college football games. NFL's like, not so fast. And they're going to make it free.
Free for Prime, free for non-Prime members. Try to lure in some more Prime members.
Yeah, exactly. They want that exposure. They really are just taking over everything. So they'll have that Friday. They'll have 3 games the day before on Thanksgiving. Then they'll have the Sunday games and the Monday game. It's
Cyber Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
Cyber Monday Night Football.
But hey, if you injure yourself, we're not taking care of you.
I mean,
know,
that's just the Bengals.
I know we're doing billions of dollars with these Amazon deals, but hey, if you injure yourself, get fucked. Something tells me it's not just the Bengals, though.
No. I mean, the NFL has historically not taken care of their players, but the NFL, the post-retirement NFL is like being a guy who comes back and goes to the VA. And you're like, why is this hospital fucking garbage?
Yeah. 100%. And then you're OJ, and if you just kill 2 people, you live on a golf course. So I don't know what the option is for.
By the way,
players.
I was at the Improv the other night, and Brendan Schaub was on the show. He did his entire set on OJ's Twitter. I was just like, what year is it?
No, he did not.
I swear to God. And he kept calling him Uncle Julius. And I was just like, his name's Orenthal James. You call him the Juice. You call him Uncle Juice. Where does Uncle Julius come from? You call him Orange Julius. That's like a old mall reference or whatever. Yeah. But Uncle Julius.
What was the crowd's reaction?
Thought it was hilarious. Oh, I mean, the crowd. The crowd was there. The crowd was there.
It's just fascinating to me. He's doing OJ Twitter bits. Was it one of those bits where like you had to see it? Like you're like, dude, I got to see the tweets.
No, he's doing.
This is more.
He's
of a
literally just.
thing.
He's literally just. He's reenacting OJ Twitter videos. For 15 minutes. Hey, Twitter world. And it was all the same. He'd be like, I mean, OJ's on Twitter. And the other day he's like, hey, Twitter world, follow my fantasy football. All right, Uncle Julius, I'll follow you in fantasy football, but you killed 2 people. I was like, what is this? It was like a Chappelle Show sketch about stand-up comedy. I mean, I would, but you murdered 2 people.
Now, was that a show you were on, or you were just hanging out at the Improv?
No, I cold opened for the Adam Carolla and Friends show.
Okay.
So I went up and opened the show. Get the crowd warmed up. Try to get them juiced up for juice jokes.
I bet that was tough to sit through.
Sorry if I don't appreciate your fantasy football takes, Uncle Julius, but you killed 2 people.
I've heard some things about his specials. I haven't watched any of them.
I haven't either.
It's like, can you make
our boy Randy has raged on his first special. I've seen that.
It's like, can you make it to 10 minutes? And look, obviously, we both know.
I actually came across a video of a kid on YouTube watching his most recent special. That was actually pretty funny too.
Oh, so it was like
a him like breaking it down. He was like, at this point in the show, 3 minutes in, he starts talking about how his wife's Mexican, and this goes on for the next 40 minutes, and that's the whole special.
Oh, that's great. It's I don't know. Look, I know it's tough. We both know stand-up's tough, but like, dude, it's one of those things where I've just heard it's like nails on a chalkboard.
I'm doing it for you. I'm doing like I'm word for word. I wrote it down. I wrote it down the way the Detroit Lions wrote down win. I wrote it down. He's like, you guys on Twitter? You guys know about Twitter, right? Let me tell you who's on Twitter these days. This is wild. Okay? OJ Simpson is on Twitter. He's just on Twitter. Like the guy who killed 2 people is on Twitter. You guys remember OJ, the murderer, the double murder? He's on Twitter, right? And he'll just go on there and he'll be like, and all of his videos come out at like 8 a.m. He's on a golf course and he's like, what's up, Twitter world? It's OJ. Uncle Julius just on a golf course. Like he didn't kill 2 people. Tweeting. You're like, okay. Yep.
Oh, OJ's been on Twitter since 2019.
Yeah.
Like I just looked it up. I want to see these bits.
And he was like shocked at how early it was happening every day. That was a big thing. He was like, every day before 7 a.m. I'm like, I think he lives in Florida, bro. Do you know about time zones? I mean, this guy's up at the crack of dawn. Probably getting up early to murder 2 people. It's like, I think he's posting at like 11 a.m. Eastern after probably a morning round of golf. It's like, this guy, I get up at 5 a.m. try to beat OJ to Twitter. He's already out. And somehow in his part of LA, the sun's already out. I don't even know how he does it. Like, dude, I think he's in Florida.
I just looked at Shop's Twitter. God, he just gets ratioed when he's promoting stuff. Just ratioed when he's promoting shows, bro. Again, I hate to do this, but I will. It's not good when you are promoting a show and the first response to come out is just no. Like just a simple no. That's not good. See, that's where I still love Twitter. Is just people can just be like, no. They need like a TikTok, Twitter combination. What's that called? Do we have that yet?
I don't think so.
You know, Joe, there's games on. I'm going to actually watch some. I don't know what else we have to talk about. The hotline is 310-359-8365. Give us a ring. Tweet at us. Follow us on social at The Dirty Sports. We're there. We're there with OJ. OJ is on Twitter. I don't know if you guys know this.
OJ's on Twitter. We're on Twitter. I am at Joe Prano on all social media except for Twitter, where I'm at Fix Your Life. Next weekend, I just put it on my Instagram story at Joe Prano on Instagram. Just put it on my Instagram story. If you're in the San Luis Obispo or surrounding areas, one of the best comedy shows I've ever done. No joke. Sneaky Pete's in San Luis Obispo. It is a secret comedy show. It's a speakeasy comedy show. Sneaky RSVP at gmail.com. If you want to come, it's Friday, the 24th of March. Creepy Pete meets Sneaky Pete's. Creepy Pete Sestaro will be joining me. He'll be opening for me at Sneaky Pete's Speakeasy Comedy Club. If you're interested, sneaky RSVP at gmail.com. They'll send you all the things. It's open bar. I probably shouldn't even say that. But if you want to come, check that out. I'll also be up in Marin County at the Throckmorton Theater on April 18th. That's part of a trip that I'm going to be doing to watch some Mets games up in San Francisco. No Edwin Diaz. So I'll probably also be jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge on my way back from Marin. And San Francisco that Wednesday and Thursday, going to be up there for the Mets series. But all of my dates are on joeprano.com at joeprano.com/shows. And follow me on all the social media because I post about them all there. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys in Slow.
Cool. All right. That's our show. You guys have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday. And as always, stay dirty.